Hi everyone. How are you enjoying your middle part of June? I guess if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're experiencing summer. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you're experiencing winter. But I hope, or if you're in the equator, it's hot all year. If you're in the sorry, hot all year, yeah. If you're in the South Pole and North Pole, I guess it's cold all year. So I just want to hit you with the breaking news. The US Open has been 95% confirmed to be played. The ATP and the ITF, which manages the Grand Slams and the Davis Cup, has all confirmed it all. And the immigration, the US immigration, the federal government have confirmed that it's okay. And we just need the New York state government and the New York city government, which is believed to be just a formality. An official announcement will follow. So now we know that we're getting back to tennis. We're going to have the US Open on, barring some shocking news that you wouldn't expect. It's just a formality, according to insiders working at the USTA organizing the US Open. So, getting the rest of the year back on, what do we have? One option is everything's cancelled to August 1, so there'll be nothing. But what we can do is like start at Washington, D.C., first week of August, second week of August to go to Toronto for the Masters 1000 there, and then go to Cincinnati for the Masters 1000 there, and then have a week sort of off, small tournaments. US Open, August 31 to September 13. Then from September 14 to sort of 2021 of September, have the Madrid Masters 1000 in Europe, in Spain on clay. That's an option. Then to go from there to the following week, the Rome Masters 1000, 20th to 27th of September, and then from there we're going to go to the French Open, September 27 to October 11, and then just go to Asia and end it at the indoor season. That's one option. The other option is if they don't come back to the week before the US Open, and because players haven't played for so long, they can't go straight into the US Open. So the week of about the sort of 23rd of July, 23rd of August, sorry, you have like the Cincinnati Masters held at the USTA National Tennis Center in New York, in Flushing in Queens. And then that is their official return of tour. They get everybody into the US in a bubble situation where you're in hotels at JFK Airport and you're traveling to the USTA National Tennis Center. So that's the other option, and where the play and they'll come on chartered flights from around the world to JFK Airport, and they'll be locked away from people, and there'll be no fans. And then you'll have the warm up tournament Cincinnati, the week of the 23rd of August, and the US Open August 31 to September 13. And then after that, you got like Madrid, Rome, and the French Open, and all that followed. So the main question now is: are they going to start in Washington D.C. and go to Toronto, or are they going to just play the week before the US Open, have a warm up Masters 1000, Cincinnati move to be played in New York without fans, and then 2 weeks of the US Open, and then go to Europe on clay and prepare for the French Open, which would be 2 weeks after the US Open. But either way, it looks like we're going to get back to tennis sometime between the 1st and 23rd of August. But it looks like, and then if the US Open's on, we can assure the French Open's on. So this is a big win for the ATP Tour, for tennis, for everyone. All the things that have been cancelled this year, it's looking like we're going to still get three of the four Grand Slams. So 75% of the Grand Slams are going to be on. Um, to have three out of the four, considering everything that's cancelled this year, is going to be good news. But you have everything cancelled from February through to the end of August. You get the first Grand Slam in Australia in January before this problem, And then at the other side of the problem coming out at August 31, 7 or so months later than that, you get the last Grand Slam. So you get 2 Grand Slams on schedule at either side of this crisis. And then of the 2 that are wiped out, French Open and Wimbledon, you still have a bit of warm weather in the Northern Hemisphere, sort of summer. Um, Summer's over, but at least sort of early part of autumn, late September, early October. So you get to reschedule one of the cancelled events and hold it at that time, late September, early October, and then the US Open, Australian Open are at either side of the crisis. And the two that are in the middle of it that can't go, like I said, one of them you get late September, early October, the other you cancel. But overall, 3 out of the 4 Grand Slams, 2 on schedule, and 1 postponed, the French Open. But 3 out of the 4 this year. It'd be a good result, but if you're Roger Federer, uh, just to say the one that's not gonna be on is the one most likely to win, and you had match point there last year, and you're excited to come back. So obviously he's decided to say, "I haven't done well for 11 or 12 years at the US Open or French Open. Wimbledon's my best shot, followed by the Australian Open, so I just wanna wait till next year and save my body and be feeling good, rather than just, at this age, pushing yourself, and then maybe by next year you'll be injured or sort of physically run down." No, he wants to be fresh for that. But if you're Nadal, you get to have a break, fresh. You lose a tournament that you wouldn't have won anyway, the French Open. Sorry, Wimbledon, and then probably one of your competitors, Djokovic or Federer, are likely to get it. They lose that opportunity, and you come back to the 2 Grand Slams you won last year, and also he's won the US Open 2 of the last 3 years. And then so that's good for him, and then the French Open, he wins every year. For Djokovic, it's a bit of a blow to lose Wimbledon, but then again, the US Open, the French are his worst too, so, not the best, but he's still got on hard courts. He's made 8 US Open finals, so to have the US Open could be good for him, but it seems like he doesn't wanna play, and all the younger generation, they just wanna get back as soon as possible, so it's good for them. So we're not confirmed, and we don't even know how it's gonna happen, what the situation with fans. Looks like they're gonna plan it without fans, but if at any time the local government changes the rules and allows fans, whether it be even a third of the stadium, half the stadium, a quarter, and even if it's a week before, like they don't decide this till say 25th of August, I think they're going to sell tickets at the last minute. And it may not be a full stadium, it may be a percentage. But just to get it on now, they can't plan for that because they can't guarantee there will be fans, so they need a plan for the worst case scenario and no fans and say, "At least we have that, at least it's guaranteed on, and if things get better, we can add fans to that. But if they don't, we're still guaranteed to have it." So I think that's the way it's looking, and like I said, either we're starting on August 1 in Washington, DC, or they're around the 23rd, 24th of August, the week before the US Open, having Cincinnati in a bubble and back to back with the US Open, and players go to one place, are isolated, and play both together. And then we go back to Europe for a clay court season in September, leading to the French Open. So that's how it's looking. Please subscribe. I'm gonna let my subscribers and everyone know any changes, and when the US Open is announced, I'll have that there, and, and any changes and anything that's going on with the tennis world, you'll be the first to hear it here, and just anything that's going on with tennis, and I'm also trying to get an interview on Zoom or Skype with Roger Federer, so stay tuned for that, subscribe, hit the bell, and you can just hear that interview as soon as it becomes available, plus any updates, and when the tour is back on, I'm gonna give you in-depth analysis, previews of future matches, and in the French Open, the US Open, if they're gonna happen as expected, I'm gonna go through all the matches, the draws, preview matches, review matches when they've happened, and talk about how maybe the winners who's going to win, how it's going to affect who's going to win the most Grand Slams in history. And I'm just going to give you everything here. So please subscribe, give me the thumbs up, do the bell notification. Have a great day or night wherever you are. See you. Bye for now.